Hi, I'm Mike Farrell. Welcome to World Travel's new online series, bringing you updates on airlines, hotels, car rentals, all things travel as we emerge from COVID-19. Let's go. Hey everybody, welcome to this edition of Let's Go. Today I have with me our Executive Vice President of Operations at World Travel, Pam Zager. I know you have your finger on the pulse of our technology enhancements that we've made throughout COVID and as well moving forward. So could you share with the audience a little bit about what we've done at World Travel?
Sure, absolutely. So we look at technology two ways. One, the value it's going to bring our customers. Two, the value it's going to bring to our frontline consultants, right? Because they need to be able to have the information at their fingertips to do their job. So one important area was unused tickets. So each airline has different rules around the validity of an unused ticket. Because there was such a high percentage of cancellations, and now that validity was extended, normally it'd be a 12-month validity, and now it's going to 24 months and 48 months, and it was just then different service fees applied for certain routes but not other routes, and then it would change, right? So if you are a frontline consultant or you have an unused ticket report, how do you know? How do you know if there's a valid waiver? How do you know if there's a change fee? How do you know how long it's valid for? So we spent a lot of resources and time building a database. I like to call it a rules engine database, that all of the waivers that exists out there for all of the airlines around the globe then has the logic behind it to know the validity behind that unused ticket. And that's critical for both reasons,
Sure.
right? And then on top of it, when you travel, how do you know what you need to do? How do you know, do I need a mask? What's the hotel doing? Do I need to self-quarantine? Do I need a COVID test? So now we have tools that are readily available for our clients that will have that level of information available to them.
Let's shift gears now and talk a little bit about the trends and what's happening now as we sit here months later. Are we starting to see a recovery?
Right, that's a great question, Mike. And the quick answer is we are seeing a recovery, a bit slow, there is a recovery. So it's important to look at recovery two different ways. One is global seat capacity, which basically means how many seats, how many routes exist around the globe. And then second to that is to look at ticketing trends. Are people purchasing tickets? And if they are purchasing airline tickets, what trend do we see around the globe? So the good news is at the lowest point for global capacity, they were down 65%. The airlines were down 65% in the global capacity seats. Good news is it's now down 47%. So these small little wins, they improved over the 50% mark, and now we're at 47%. It was flat week over week. And the reason why it's been flat for the past couple of weeks is as countries have an insurgence of new cases, you'll see capacity kind of decreasing. But the reason why capacity is so important because it shows the sentiment that's out there. Because airlines aren't going to add seats unless there's a need for it. Supply and demand. Is there demand for it? And if there's demand, they're going to add. So now if you look around the globe, and we look at this daily, and then look at it weekly and monthly, and then year over year, China, we look at very closely because it started there, right? So their lowest point in sales was back in February. They are now at almost just shy of 100% of their domestic capacity in ticketing. So that's some good news, right?
Yeah, that's great news.
Great news. International, not surprising, they're down 98% because of course, COVID and the restrictions going in and the restrictions going out, right? So we'll keep our eye on that. But then as you go around the globe, you're seeing Europe having some really strong signs of recovery for ticketing. Poland, Norway, very strong.
One of the platforms that we've rolled out during COVID is World Watch, which is an extension of our already existing platform, World Hub. Could you talk a little bit about World Hub and World Watch and the value you already hinted around, but a little bit more detail on that?
Sure, absolutely. So World Hub, which it can be a mobile device or it could be on a desktop, it's flexible. It integrates with World Watch, which is now a platform that allows you to see what's occurring around the world. Where are my travelers? What hotels are they staying at? What's required from a COVID? Where's that epicenter of COVID? It has all that level of information that you need to travel, or as a travel manager, to know where people are at any point in time and what's happening to their flights. Is their flight delayed? Did it arrive on time? So it really is, it's a very robust, real-time platform that health, safety, security, travel details, it's all encompassing.
And what our amazing innovation team has done is taken that platform and integrated into all the tools that are already out there in the world. So we know we can go on Johns Hopkins website and look at the COVID map and to see the heat map, to see where cases are higher than in other counties or other countries or other states. What our innovation team has done, which is really neat, is they've taken the itinerary data and married that to the maps, whether it is a COVID map or a safety and security map. So it's such a valuable tool that the travel manager doesn't need to go to 3 separate places. They need to go to World Watch, find the itineraries that are relevant or affected by whichever scenario, whether it's a safety scenario or if it's a COVID map that they're looking at.
That's right, absolutely.
Pam, we've talked a lot about what's happened since March. Let's talk a little bit about the future. Let's talk about what's to come and what are we expecting. As you know, we both serve on our advisory board, and we've had monthly conversations with our advisory board so that we can stay close to decisions that are being made in their own organizations with respect to travel and when their employees will start traveling again. Can you talk a little bit about your own preparedness within the operations department and how we are looking forward into 2021?
Absolutely. Mike, as I mentioned earlier, we retained 100% of our employees. We did not furlough, we did not terminate, we did not lay off any one of our associates due to the COVID-19 situation. That's very important to us as an organization to do so. And we're taking advantage of this time to be that much stronger coming out of this COVID-19 situation. Now, right now, we see certain industries that are traveling, right? Because as you mentioned, that depending on the company, depending on the industry or business sector, really is going to influence when they transition back to travel. So right now, our clients who are traveling, healthcare, pharmaceutical, right? Construction, you would expect those, right? Now some professional sporting organizations are starting to travel. But there's a lot of industries right now that they are defining travel based on essential travel. And that definition, it varies per organization, as we learned with our client advisory board. So we're ready. We are ready. We're doing a lot of maintenance and upgrades to our phone system. And as I mentioned before, with the training, we have fine-tuned our standard operating procedures. We're doing role-playing, and everybody is eager to get back to selling travel because COVID-19, though it's been so stressful around the globe about what it is, there is some silver linings that we see. And I do believe that it brought our organization closer together.
Pam, we've talked about corporate travel, we've talked about meetings and incentives and events. We haven't talked about our other core competency here at World Travel, and that's our leisure travel, which is actually seeing a stronger recovery than corporate and meetings right now.
You're absolutely right, Mike. And leisure travel, I believe, is recovering much stronger due to people want to get out of their house.
They want to leave.
They want to leave. They want to go away, right? So the improvement for leisure, when I talked about a 10% improvement, we're really looking at a 20% improvement on the leisure side. So leisure is definitely leading the way of recovery over corporate.
That's great. I'd like to take a vacation right about now.
Right. Absolutely.
I really appreciate you participating in this edition of Let's Go, our new series, which keeps us in contact with all of our clients and prospects out there so that they can understand where we are. How I always like to wrap up Let's Go is with really a summary of 3 points that we've made today so that you can walk away from this with valuable information. The first point I want to make that you brought up is communication, that we have invested in communication here at World Travel, even at a higher level. As you mentioned just recently, that we are stronger and actually a better company coming out of COVID than we were coming into COVID because of all those investments that we've made in communication. We encourage you to do the same. The second point that I want to bring up is technology, that this is a phenomenal opportunity to pivot on your technology platforms to make them relevant to what's going on. The third point that I really want to make is we're ready. We know that travel is going to resume. We know that the light switch is going to not be turned on automatically. It'll be a dimmer switch where travel will start to recover slowly, but we are ready. Our associates are ready. Our technology is ready. Our platform is ready for when that travel starts at a very high level, or maybe even back to those 2019 numbers. Pam, thank you very much. I do miss our meetings. I miss our opportunities to meet here in the office. Thanks for coming into our World Travel Studios today, for meeting with me. I want to thank you again from our client's perspective. You are always a wealth of information. So from us to you,
let's go.
Join us next time as we sit down with the president of the Philadelphia Business Travel Association, Jim Pio.